I'm David Lewellen from Denair, California. I actually grew up at a racetrack in Florida at used to be called Sunshine Speedway. Now it's Showtime Speedway. My dad raced, my grandfather raced, my brother still races back there. I built my first car about 7 years ago. My first late model. That's how I got in.
Talk about that transition. How did you end up all the way out here in California?
My wife, her family. Yeah, so we made the move.
Well, what have you
got to do with the white shirts.
What have you been doing since then? Learning different tracks. How many different racetracks have you been across?
I run Madeira in Roseville. Stockton, I tried to run last year, I think it was, and I blew up, and I haven't been back since. So I had to get the car put back together, and now I'm back. I'm excited to run here. I love this track. The little bit I actually got to run on it, I think I enjoyed this track the most.
What about Stockton? What kind of characteristics does the track have that makes it so enjoyable to drivers?
It's a rough, tricky track with one high bank. So you really have to understand your lines in both ends, right? It's not just the same banking, same elevation, where it's easy to do the same thing on both sides. This one you have to run different lines in both ends, and it makes it tricky. It's more fun that way.
Now, what's one thing about tonight that just excites you? Obviously, it's a night of champions, a lot of history, a lot of drivers making up tonight's pro late field. What is that emotion like for you?
It's pretty exciting. My team car is actually Galswhite, the 28G car. John Galswhite, who's a previous champion, who'll be over in the VIP, has kind of been my driver coach, been very helpful. And most of all, I'm just excited to get back in the car. I haven't been in it in 2 years. Well, building it back since I blew the motor up, so I'm just excited to be back in the car.
Kind of going a little more and tell the race fans back at home what kind of goes into rebuilding a race car, because you know a lot of people are just used to seeing their favorite drivers, their favorite teams come back each and every week, but it is difficult to get these cars back out here.
It's a lot of work. I'm kind of a low budget team, so I work overtime in order to pay for my race car. Most of the time it's me by myself in my shop working on it. My daughter Brianna is a huge help. She actually does quite a bit and has learned quite a bit working on the race car and helping me. You got to put the sweat in, you got to put the work in. I mean, otherwise you're not going to get anywhere out here.
Obviously, blowing up last time, you didn't get the finish you wanted. What would you consider to be a successful night tonight?
I'd like to get a top 5. I'd be really happy with that. Just knowing that my car's in one piece and it's working the way it's supposed to, I would be satisfied with that.
With guys like Galswick, Phil Pott, even you got traveling drivers from Vegas, how hard is going to get that top 5?
Very, very good talent here. Not to mention the Nazi Menos and guys like that. They're tough challengers. So I just enjoy racing with these guys. Most of them race clean, and that's what I try to race like, and just enjoy. I do this to have fun. I'm not trying to make a living at this. I'm just having fun. So being able to race against talent like that and learning from them, really, I mean, just following them around the racetrack helps me a lot. So I enjoy being here with these different guys.
Now, you mentioned it at the very beginning. Family is huge for you. Obviously, they help you get out here. Yeah. Who else would you like to thank today?
So my daughter Brianna, she's got a twin brother, Jacob. We have my wife Mary, who's been married 27 years, and we have a older daughter who lives in Texas and is married in Texas. So my family's a huge support. My wife's a big support. She doesn't give me a hard time when I'm out in the shop working on the race car and not mowing the grass. So I can't thank her enough for that.